A very good morning to each one of you. World No Tobacco Day is observed around the world on the 31st of May every year. It aims to encourage people to say no to tobacco and eventually give up smoking. As the old saying goes, nip the evil in the bud. Nip the evil in the bud. Keeping this in mind, Sahayta Welfare Charitable Society, a founder member of the national body of cancer support groups, Cancer Care India, in association with Pink Elephant, is organizing an inter-school declamation competition on the harmful effects and impact of tobacco. I, Parminder Johul, on behalf of Sahayta Charitable Welfare Society, extend a warm welcome to our worthy judges this morning who have taken time out from their busy schedule to be with us today. Our first judge, Dr. Lamba, who is an ex Indian Air Force officer, she is from the pioneering courses of women officers in the armed forces. Currently, she is trailblazing as an academician and management consultant. Our next judge, Dr. Arjun Arya, a leading psychiatrist of the Tri City with almost 15 years of experience in treating patients with addictions and mental disorders. We also have Mrs. Santosh Bhan, founder member of Sahayta, all-time volunteer who has been very actively organizing cancer awareness programs in school, institution, and corporate since the past many years. Now, I would like to hand over the mic to uh, one of the youngest volunteers, Devika.
Can I say
Devika,
good
over.
morning?
Yep.
Good morning to all of you. As ma'am has already introduced that why we are celebrating this day to mark to herald World No Tobacco Day, Sahayta has been organizing the Inter-School Declamation Contest for the past 10 years almost. And the basic aim of this contest is to make the children aware and make the younger generation aware, as they rightly say, that teach them when they are young and when they are growing. So concentrating on that, we have been organizing these inter-school declamation contests on harmful effects of tobacco, bidi, gutka, cigarettes, etc. And all these years, we've been getting an overwhelming response from the Tri City schools. Each year, around 50 to 60 schools have been participating. But last year, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we had an online poster making competition in which around 20 schools participated. And so this year also, in an association with the Pink Elephant, Sahayata has organized this inter-school declamation contest. I welcome all the participants here, and a special mention to our Vice President, Mrs. Madhu Nagpal, who, due to some reasons, could not be a part of this event today, and has worked diligently on this project for so many. And now I will tell you about the rules of this contest. Okay. Firstly, each participant shall be given 3 minutes to speak. Kindly adhere to the time limit. In case the time limit is exceeded, marks will be deducted. Reading from a paper, electronic devices, etc., is strictly prohibited and is ground for disqualification. All decisions taken by the judges are full and final and will not be open to any contest. Marks shall be allotted on the basis of presentation and content, pronunciation, quality of language, and speech delivery. At the end of the event, first, second, third, and consolation prize of rupees 2000, 1500, 1200, and 1000 respectively will be sent to the winner's school directly by Sahai. That's all. So I think we can begin with the program.
All the best, bachas. And I'm sure all of you all have prepared and prepared well. So just go ahead. First, our first participant is Anchal from MDAV, that is Maharishi Dayanand Adarsh Vidyalaya.
Can I start, ma'am?
Yes, Vita.
Health is like money. You never know the value of it until you lost it. A very good morning to everyone. I am Anchal representing Maharishi Dhyanan Adarsh Vidyalaya, going to present my views on a very serious topic, the harmful effects of tobacco. We can't deny the fact that tobacco causes harm to our mind and body severely. The person loses everything when he is indulged in it. It's not only about tobacco, there are other things too that causes harm to us in the same way, like alcohol and drugs. But on World No Tobacco Day, we are supposed to know about tobacco better and how it excavates our mind and body. But before knowing about its harmful effects, we must be aware about what actually tobacco is. So tobacco is an agricultural crop, a plant which is grown in almost all over the world. Do you know that tobacco is the nervous system stimulant that triggers complex biochemical and neurotransmitter disruptions? Its leaves contain highly addictive chemical nicotine. Generally, people consume tobacco leaves by smoking through cigar or pipes, or applied it to the gums by dipping and chewing the tobacco, or by inhaling it as snuff. World Tobacco Day or Anti-Tobacco Day emphasizes on the health and other risks associated with tobacco use and advocates effective policies to reduce the consumption of tobacco. Several campaigns, events, and activities are being organized on this day to make people aware about the harmful effects of tobacco on their health. We all know that eating tobacco or having other such product may give you pleasure for some time, but it will take your life away. It may happen that a person may feel energetic after chewing tobacco, but have you ever thought why is it so? They make addiction and you will be caught in this vicious circle which will be very hard to get out. According to WHO, tobacco kills half of its users as it causes cancer and chronic respiratory diseases. More than 8 million people are killed each year due to tobacco. Direct tobacco use deaths are more than 7 million, and around 1.2 million are the results of non smokers being exposed to second hand smoke. Also, about 80% of the world's population, tobacco users live in low and middle income countries. Life is a precious gift. We should value life and should not waste it by doing meaningless and senseless things. Yes, it is true that tobacco may give you pleasure for some time, but a person with no such habits can lead a happy, healthy, and a blissful life for the rest of his life. And here, I wanted to sum up my words. Eliminate tobacco from your life before it kills you. Thank you.
बेटे आप अभी मेरे को एक मिनट आई एम ऑनलाइन आई टॉक टू लेटर. That was very nice, Anchal. And our next contestant is Arnika from St. Stephen's.
Ma'am, I hope I'm audible and visible.
Yes.
Just one taste, one pill, one puff of thrill won't make your life go downhill. But before you realize, you open your eyes to see the devil, the fawn in blue. Your one puff graduates to two and three, and now you moan in misery. The clouds of nicotine ring your knell, and before you realize you're in living hell. A very good morning, respected judges, honorable teachers, and my fellow contestants. Today I, Aranyaka Tandon from St. Stephen's School, would like to express my views and thoughts on the topic, harmful effects of tobacco. What is tobacco? Tobacco is an addictive drug extracted from the tobacco plant, which is known to have 65 species. It can be inhaled and consumed in many forms, the most common ones being cigarette, bidi, and hookah. According to the World Health Organization, every year more than 6 million people die after falling victim to this fatal substance. Around 5 million die due to direct tobacco intake, whereas the rest end up becoming passive inhalers of this venomous addiction. These non-smokers include more than 65,000 children who die every year because of tobacco intake.
Okay, cool.
There is some network issue with this contestant.
With this contestant, then
Yes.
we'll carry on with the next one.
Let's give her another chance if she wants to join in,
Yeah,
or
she
then
can.
or then we can take her up later at the end of the list.
We'll take it up later at the end, and we'll carry on with Brinda. Sorry to inform you all that since this girl Arankia is having some network issues, she will join us in the last after the others have finished. So now we have next contestant is Brinda Thaman from Saint Kabir Public School. All the best, beta.
Whenever you decide to light a cigarette, you decide that your life isn't worth living. A marvelous morning to you. I am Brinda Thaman from St. Kabir Public School, and I believe that every life is worth living well. You only live once, right? Today, we observe the World No Tobacco Day to raise awareness about the many ill effects of tobacco consumption. The reasons why people die with death like this may vary. For teenagers, it could be a display of rebellion or a fallout of peer pressure. For grown ups, it may be a way of countering stress or merely a pleasurable habit. I don't find any explanation good enough to justify putting your life on the line because tobacco kills about half of its users. Almost 8 million people die every year because of tobacco use, including 5% of adult women and 20% of adult men. If that doesn't scare you, maybe I should tell you how much the treatments cost. What makes matters worse is that it isn't just about you. Almost 1.2 million premature deaths occur every year because of inhaling secondhand smoke. Cigarettes are killers that travel in packs, they say, and that may be the shortest, truest description we've heard so far. Other forms of tobacco, such as gutka, bidi, pan, or hookah, can cause irreparable harm to your body too. In better times, when we all enjoyed movies at cinemas. Remember cringing at that grotesque public advisory before the movie began? Those nauseous visuals that displayed the ill effects of tobacco consumption? That was one way of creating awareness among people. The government must enforce strict laws that limit the purchase of such products and discourage their usage in public places. Many de addiction centers have also been opened where professional help is available. According to a Stanford University study, cigarettes are being extruded and therefore smoked at a rate of more than 300 million miles per year, which is almost 34,000 miles per hour, 24 hours a day. Makes you dizzy, doesn't it? Tobacco is the guide that leads the blind on a false path, which ends in a precipice. In today's milieu, with coronavirus scare looming large, we cannot afford to put our already vulnerable lungs at stake. We need to fortify ourselves and consolidate our health. It's time to say no. It's time to reclaim ourselves from this addiction. Let's light the ills that infest our society instead of lighting a cigarette. Death, disease, intolerance, communalism, corruption. There is so much to burn, so much that deserves to be turned to ashes. Thank you.
Thank you, beta. Thank you so much. Very well spoken. And next we have Divya Grover from Shishu Niketan Public School.
Hello everyone, my name is Divya Grover and I am from Shishu Niketan Model Senior Secondary School, Chandigarh. While waiting at the traffic signal, I observed an auto driver who took out a pouch from his pocket, took out two tiny plastic containers, put the contents on his palm and started rubbing them with the other. Placed the contents in his mouth in a peculiar manner, quite similar to the one I've observed several times. I'm sure everyone in this virtual panel would agree that such scenes are quite common. No, 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 it have got nothing to do with targeting a particular set of people of the society. It is to bring about the serious issues of chewing tobacco, consuming gutka, bidi, hookah, etc. It's not a matter of targeting a particular class of society. Rather, it is more related to the bad habits not corrected at the right time, leading to dangerous health hazards like ulcer, cancer, and other respiratory problems. In this pandemic, if we could learn a single lesson, that should be to take a very good care of ourselves. As is the law of the nature, survival of the fittest. Now, it is the most important thing in our lives. The COVID 19 pandemic has come upon us as the nature's raid on humans' preparedness. So, this No Tobacco Day bestows us with added responsibility of taking care of ourselves as well as of those around us. Let's talk about practical aspects first. How can you and I bring about any productive change? My parents won't even allow me step out of the safe zone of the home. How would I be able to help them? Through social media, through limited interactions that we have with our car cleaners, vegetable vendors, etc. There are many people who have been a part of our life, and if we wish, we can educate them. How this small help can create an impact. This change in mindset is the need of the hour. How long we would be ignoring our duty towards our fellow citizens who have been strayed away from their path of well being. Without people's participation, nothing can be a success in a democracy. Health results of consuming gutka, bidi, hookah, etc. are known to everyone, but not effectively. When people do not get any immediate damage, they think it is possible to keep on playing with the fire when eventually they will burn their hands. It's high time that such situations must be handled by public individually or at the community level so as to realize success at the ground level. Government has many more crucial projects to handle. Let's join our hands to fight out such malices away from our country and make India tobacco free. We can fight many parallel issues which surface out of such losses of life by drug abuse and tobacco consumption. These deadly habits lead to growing of crime, theft, and violence. I urge everyone on this panel to introspect the idea of doing ground level work by counseling, helping, and guiding the people instead of pushing them in a corner or targeting them. Lack of awareness is already a dangerous hazard for our country. Let's not make it our weakness. Let's usher ourselves into action. Let's save our nation. Jai Hind.
Very good. Very well spoken, Divya. That was very nice. And now we have Kashvi Goyal from St. Soldiers International Public School.
I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, you are.
Smoking leaves an unseen scar. It fills your lungs with toxins and tars. Good morning, judges and my worthy opponents. In this atmosphere of uncertainty, I, Kashmi Goyal of St. Souls International School, introduce you to some killer facts about smoking bud. Tobacco, pan, bidi, and gutka are highly addictive and makes a person their slave. Astonishingly, tobacco products kill about 8 million people each year, taking life in every 4 seconds. Each cigarette reduces 6 minutes of your lifespan. The use of tobacco is increasing among teenagers as they are getting influenced towards this with indeed no knowledge of its ill effects, which are of course countless. Therefore, I believe that the effects of smoking are wide and deadly to every user. Yet, the predominant one is health risk. Consumption of tobacco harms nearly every part of the body and causes cancer, lung disease, heart disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Secondhand smoke, which is the smoke spread out by smokers, is responsible for middle ear disease and causes severe asthma. Secondhand smoke is not something to joke about. It's just as detrimental, like inhaling smoke on a regular basis. Another leading drawback of the same motion is that it causes economic loss. More than its normal toll of disease, death, and suffering, tobacco products also burden the global economy with an estimated 1.5 lakh crore rupees each year in healthcare costs and loss of productivity each year. Also, it potentially stresses the public healthcare system, the economy. Supplement pitfall of tobacco is environmental degradation. Its cultivation, processing, production, and disposal harms the ecology immensely, as it ejects thousands of tons of human carcinogens, toxic substances, and gases into the environment. Now, I would like to tie the loose ends of my declamation. I am concluding that to combat this hassle, remember, trying something to beat the urge is always better than doing nothing. Each time you resist a tobacco, you're one step closer to being totally tobacco free. Don't think of it as quitting, think of it as gaining. Thank you.
Very good. Very well spoken, Kashvi. And now our next speaker is Prabhat from Bhavan Vidyalay.
Okay. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, Vita, you are audible and you are visible also.
Think about this. More than 8 million people are killed every year due to tobacco consumption. If the world consumes tobacco at the same rate, there will be more than 1 billion people killed prematurely by the mid 21st century. Preventable, unwarranted deaths. Greetings, erudite judges, senior members of Sahayta, the Pink Elephant Fraternity, and my dear friends. I'm Prabhat Rajgopalan from Bhavan Vidyalaya, Chandigarh. The WHO ranks tobacco use as the world's leading cause of preventable death. Why would any of us in our right minds want to inhale over 7,000 chemicals and poisonous substances, tar, arsenic, pesticides found in rat poison, and fumes from vehicle exhausts? These are the very things that comprise a cigarette. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Not only cigarettes, tobacco in any form is lethal, be it bidi, gutka, hookah, any of them, all of them. As the global tobacco epidemic spreads its morbid wings and brings disease, death, and economic downfall on us, we must spread alarm. We must make our voices heard to put an end to the abysmal toll that tobacco takes. 80% of lung cancers and lung cancer deaths are all a result of tobacco, causing a myriad of other diseases. It affects almost every organ in the body, from the lungs and heart to the skin and bones. Chronic bronchitis, emphysema, pneumonia, tuberculosis, aortic aneurysms, and scores of other diseases is what tobacco gives to you. What's more is that the reduced lung capacity puts smokers at an even higher risk of developing severe symptoms of COVID 19. Bidi, mind you, has 3 to 5 times more nicotine than cigarettes and contains far more carbon monoxide and tar. Gutka, containing 4,200 chemical components, is the leading cause of oral cancer. In fact, oncologists claim that gutka is perhaps the most harmful form of tobacco. 60% of Indians consume smokeless tobacco like gutka. The young and uneducated are often beguiled easily into tobacco consumption, and what starts as a mere trial becomes an addiction. Let us not forget the 1.2 million passive smokers who suffer for no fault of theirs. In addition, tobacco plantations use huge quantities of pesticides, destroying the environment and the lives of farmers. Tobacco is addictive and giving it up may be difficult. But many organizations across the globe are committed to helping humanity out of the deep trenches of tobacco consumption. What can we do to help? Nicotine replacement therapy, physical activity, and relaxation and meditation are some ways of healing and helping. Schools are in a powerful position to make a change by crafting an environment that models on anti tobacco behavior and beliefs. And conveying this consistently and clearly to the students can go a long way. In the end, let us remember that each one of us can make a difference. You are not just a drop in the ocean, you are the mighty ocean in the deep. Thank you.
Great, Prabhat. That's very nice of you. Very well spoken. And our next speaker is Manushri Chugh from Vivek High School, Mohali.
Good morning to the esteemed panel of judges. I, Manushree Chugh, a student of class 9 from Vivek High School, Mohali. I'm here to take you through the toxicity and dangers of tobacco addiction through some real life experiences. Smoking is injurious to health, a warning so often read and ignored that I see empty cigarette packets trampled under careless feet every 10 steps. During my internet research, I found several questions. A question read, can I smoke if I have cancer? Can a pregnant mother smoke? Can a cancer survivor smoke? And these were questions of those whose lives are suffocated by the clutches of the demonic tobacco addiction. Intense and excruciating chemotherapy sessions, loss of life, love, wealth, and family awaits them, yet the addiction. Cancers linked to tobacco use make up to 40% of all cancers, from the top of your body to the bottom, from your posterior to your anterior. Is there any body part immune to the dangers of tobacco? I see a young boy in his early 20s living right behind my house. Through the door mesh, I observe him looking for a nook every few hours to hide himself for a couple of minutes. Seconds later, the smoke emanates out of the secret chamber. Those uncomfortable minutes, with constant fear of being caught, are what I see him finding solace in. Is it not ironic that what destroys you is what you find peace within? I once had a driver who would drive me through my tuition schedules, and every time I spotted him, morning, noon, or the evening, he would be chewing on a tobacco until it turned into a crimson liquid. He would then spit it out. I foresaw blood. I wonder why he couldn't. He spat blood years later, and let that be a different story. Tobacco in any form is equivalent to befriending danger. Cigar for the luxury mongers, cigarette for the common man, bidi for the poor, gutka for the labor class. Surprisingly, we choose our class before inviting death. But does death differentiate between the classes and the masses? I remember as a child, the tagline of a popular commercial got me singing it too. Pana parag, pana masala, pana para, ding ding ding. But well, over the years, nothing much has changed. The portrayal of a hero or a villain is incomplete without a cigarette jerking and snapping between the two fingers. The cinematic macho effect is incomplete until the smoke doesn't make patterns in the air. The government will make billions out of your tobacco expenses. Hospitals will loot your lifelong earnings. Friends, too, will cajole you into the act, and life will make you weak in your knees so that you resort to the temporary dopamine comfort. But if your teary eyed mother and wailing children are less important, sure, let your life fly away with the vapors. Thank you.
Thank you, Manushri. Very well spoken. And our next participant is Monica Agnotri from Guru Hari Krishna Public School.
I hope I'm visible and audible, ma'am.
Yes, yes, you are visible also, audible also. All the
Yes.
best.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning to all my friends. My name is Monica Agnihotri and I'm from SDHMS School, Sector 38, Chandigarh. World No Tobacco Day is an initiative by WHO and is observed on May 31st every year. The World No Tobacco Day theme for 2021 is Commit to Quit. Today's topic is harmful effects and impact of tobacco, pan, bidi, gutka, hookah, etc. The harmful effects of tobacco include cancer, heart disease, lung disease, stroke, diabetes, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease (COPD). It also increases risk for tuberculosis, certain eye diseases, and problems of the immune system, including rheumatoid arthritis. Both smoking as well as smokeless forms of tobacco have adverse health impact and contribute to premature deaths. It leads to cancer of lungs, mouth, neck, and other body parts. It invites heart and blood vessels diseases like heart attack, angina, sudden cardiac arrest, stroke, paralysis, and others. Responsible for lung diseases like tuberculosis or chronic bronchitis. It reduces blood flow to heart, increases blood pressure, and risk for diabetes. It also reduces good cholesterol. It decreases stamina, accelerates aging, wrinkles, stained teeth, darkened lips. hair loss, and dry skin are resultant of smoking. Passive smoking is equally dangerous. The report, Global Adult Tobacco Survey India, says that India is the second largest producer and consumer of tobacco products, and mortality due to tobacco in India is estimated upwards of 1.3 million. Out of these, 1 millions are attributed to tobacco smoking and rest to the smokeless tobacco use. To achieve National Health Policy 2017 aim of reducing tobacco use up to 30% by 2025, spread awareness about the dangers of the tobacco and its negative impact on health. Astounded and worried. It's never too late to quit addiction to tobacco. It's time to go beyond quit or die. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you so much. You spoke very well. And now we have Pranjay Acharya from St. Joseph Senior School.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you're audible and you're visible. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am. If tobaccos are used around us, then we all will be choking. So, on this World Tobacco Day, please quit smoking. Good morning to one and all present here. Today, I, Prajanya Acharya from St. Joseph Senior Secondary School. I'm here to present my views on the harmful effects of tobacco related products such as bidi, gutka, pan masala, and many more. I am very sorry to tell you that during the 2.5 minutes of my conversation with you, around 4 people will die around the world just because of tobacco related health problems. According to the Hindu, 45% Indians consume smokeless tobacco in the form of pan masala, supari, and so on, which can cause intolerance to spicy food, rigidity of lips and tongue, and also a regular cough. About 48% Indians consume some or the other form of tobacco. But does anybody care about reading the caution written on the tobacco packets? The answer is no. According to tobaccoatlas.org, around 6 million people, I repeat, 6 million people die every year just because of tobacco related health problems. Also, when we inhale or chew tobacco, 7,000 toxicants enter our body. And to your surprise, it can reduce around a decade of our life. Tobacco can cause heart problems, diabetes, COPD, and even cancer. And such is the problem that the Mr. Mukesh documentary comes even before the national anthem in the cinema theaters. A cigarette says, "Today you turn me into ashes, but tomorrow is my turn." According to a report by WHO, in these tough COVID times, people who consume tobacco are prone to post COVID complications. On this World Tobacco Day, I appeal to every person consuming tobacco to quit its use and start using anti nicotine gums to destroy its addiction. To end, I would just say that replacing the smoke on your face with a smile today will replace illness in your life with happiness tomorrow. Thank you and have a marvelous day ahead. Thank you.
Very well spoken, Pranjay. And now we have Saisha Mishra from St. Soldiers International Public School, Panchkula.
Good morning, everyone present here. I'm Saisha Mishra and I'm representing Saint Soldiers. Let us all imagine smoking as an effective way to lose weight. First, it makes us lose the money in our pocket, then one lung followed by the other. Majority of the smokers think that it's cool to smoke, but who will think of them as cool when they get cancer in the most frightening way? Who will think of them as awesome when they lose all their hair due to the cancer treatment, losing weight and feeling sick and weak all the time? Who will think of them as awesome when they are cool for a few months and then petite for the rest of their life? Not only cancer, but breathing problems, chronic respiration issues, diabetes, infections, and for women, premature birth and low birth babies. People like to smoke because of the nicotine present in the tobacco, which is highly addictive. This nicotine makes the brain release a feel good chemical also known as dopamine. As the dopamine level begins to fade, the body craves more nicotine, and soon the person becomes an addict. These addicts without nicotine feel weak, sick, and anxious all the time. Who these people, if deprived of nicotine, they can get restless and sometimes they even commit suicide. Nicotine levels in the body are required for these addicts. When we inhale tobacco, chemicals such as carbon monoxide, which deprives the heart of oxygen, tar, which is a sticky substance and coats over the lung, enter the body. These can harm our organs within 10 seconds of our first puff. When we smoke, it's as good as saying that our life is not worth living. Because therefore, we are so willing to let a 8.4 centimeter secret rule our lives. Smoking is ruining your life, her life, and their lives. Please don't smoke. For when a packet says that smoking kills, it does not mean that it kills the person. It kills the love and the bond attached to the person. It kills the caring heart, the memories, and everyone that's ever loved you. It deprives them of you. When you smoke, when you give up on smoking, it's not because you're weak, it's because you are strong enough and smart enough to give up for the betterment of yourself and for others who's ever loved you. Your life's not a joke. Please, please, please don't smoke. Thank you.
Great, Saisha Mishra. That's very nice appeal you made it to the in the public to the world. And now we have Shivam Sehgal from St. John's.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible
The true
and
face of
visible.
smoking. The true face of smoking is disease, death, and horror, not the glamour and sophistication the pushers in the tobacco industry try to portray. Ladies and gentlemen, life is beautiful as we celebrate Anti Tobacco Day. I, Shivam from St. John's High School, am here to talk about the harmful effects of tobacco, gutka, pan, etc. What is the history of tobacco, you may ask? Tobacco was used long ago in early Americas. The arrival of Spain introduced tobacco to the Europeans. It soon became a very lucrative and heavily traded commodity. With the onset of the Industrial Revolution, it became hugely popular across the globe. Once used in spiritual ceremonies and health treatment, is now used as a money making tool that kills 7 million every year. Do you know that tobacco industries manipulate research? They do it in a variety of ways. First, by the funding mechanism to control the research agenda to confuse people about the cancer causing side effects. Secondly, the tobacco industry has been involved in the design and conduct of industry supported research. The tobacco industry has sponsored its research and suppressed others. Why are the governments across the world silent? The answer lies in the 348 crore tax revenue they generate from tobacco sales. It brings with it lung infections to decay, loss of smell, strokes, heart attacks, cancer, and whatnot. Smoking comes with an unseen scar. It fills your insides with toxins and tar. Cigarettes, tobacco, gutka, pan come with a warning. Haven't we watched the movies? They all come with a message to stop tobacco use. Haven't we seen those images printed on tobacco packets? Nicotine, along with other harmful chemicals in tobacco, causes mutations in our DNA. Would you like to be a mutated zombie? If not, stop tobacco right now. These mutations cause cancer. Cancer isn't a joke, so stop the smoke. The true value of life is realized when death starts knocking at our door. Tobacco has a radioactive material called polonium 210 in it, one of the most lethal material in the world. The smoke from a cigarette has hydrogen cyanide in it, which was used by the Nazi Germany in their gas chambers. Is tobacco any different from nuclear weapons in gas chambers? No, they can all kill millions. The only difference being that people choose to get killed in the case of tobacco. Do you know that an average of 6 lakh people die every year due to passive smoking? And you would be surprised to hear that 28% of them are children. Can you imagine being that child who had no fault? Think about his parent, what the loss it can be to them if they lose the child at this age. Only the ones who have lost their loved ones know how it is. Everyone has the right to clean air. Let them breathe freely. Stop smoking. We're all humans, aren't we? Every human life is worth the same and worth saving, said J.K. Rowling. Why do people use tobacco? Just ask yourself. It doesn't give them any fun, pleasure, or anything. When you light a cigarette, your life burns with it. In the end, all I want to say is do not let your future go into smoke. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Very good, very good, very good. And our last speaker is Arnakya from St. Stephen's School. Unfortunately, she had some network issues, so we are taking her back.
She has just logged off. I think she has further network issues.
She has further network issues. So we'll wait for a minute or two.
Ranaka, you may please continue with your presentation.
So, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, please. Yes, you're audible. Please carry on with your presentation.
Yes, you carry on.
Yes, ma'am. Just one taste won't kill. Just one puff for thrill won't make your life go downhill. But when you realize, you open your eyes to see the devil, the form in you. Your one puff graduates to 2 and 3, and now you mount easily. The clouds of nicotine ring your knell, and before you realize, you're in hell. Good morning, respected judges, honorable teachers, and my fellow contestants. Today, I, Brahma Tandon, St. Stephen's School, would like to express my views and thoughts on the topic harmful effects of tobacco. What is tobacco? Tobacco is an addictive drug extracted from the tobacco plant which can be inhaled and consumed in many forms. According to the World Health Organization, every year more than 6 million people die after falling victim to the fatal substance. Around 5 million die due to direct tobacco intake, whereas the rest end up becoming passive inhalers of this venomous addiction. These non-smokers include more than 65,000 children who die every year due to no fault of theirs. Have the nicotine addicts become so callous and self-centered that they are willing to gamble away their own and the lives of thousands just because of the useless and feeble reasoning of succumbing to the societal pressure? Every problem has a root cause. Naturally, this cause makes people brood over this venom, hanging the sword of Damocles, that is tobacco, over their heads. According to American Cancer Society, most people start smoking during the tender age of adolescence, usually under peer pressure or the negative influence of media, which glamorizes such despicable substances. Today, teenagers want to fit into the new cultural milieu and want to flaunt a cigarette or two as a status symbol, not realizing that they are playing with their own lives and with the hearts of their loved ones. Over 80% of the 1.3 billion tobacco users worldwide live in low and middle income countries, including India, where tobacco related illnesses and death tolls are the heaviest. Tobacco successful meaningfully contributes to the poverty of our nation by diverting household spending from basic needs such as food and shelter to tobacco. In the end, I would like to say that a country's most revered treasure is its youth. But if one loses it to any kind of substance abuse, it will grossly affect the future of the country. Hence, we should not let the shackles of tobacco lead us to ruins of an unfathomable intensity. We, as a nation, should try to make India a tobacco-free nation, which is not an invincible task. Thank you, and let's not forget that a cigarette pipe has smoke at one end and a dead man at the other. Thank you, and have
Great.
a wonderful day ahead.
Very well said. Very well said. So, like now you heard all the participants speak, and you must have realized the young children, they are also aware about the facts, the effects of tobacco, and they also know that social media is the best way to spread awareness amongst the world. And now we have Mrs. Renu Sehgal, the president of Sahayta Charitable Welfare Society. She will enlighten us. She will speak few words to the students and all of us. Yes, Renu ma'am.
Namaskar to everybody. I'm amazed at the performance of our school children. We started cancer support services in 1997. We at Sahayta realized for treatment of cancer and early detection is very important and prevention is very important. So no tobacco is the most preventable cause for avoiding cancer. So we got passionately involved in awareness of harmful effects of tobacco. We realized the best method is to catch them young at impressionable age. Sahayta started awareness in schools very extensively for the past 10-12 years. We have been having declamation contests, poster making contests involving around 100 schools of the Tri-City, Chandigarh, Mohali and Panchkula. All schools children, they are very enthusiastic and the motivation is winning streak and the prizes we give. Last year due to COVID, we held the competition, poster competition online and response was very aesthetic and meaningful posters. This year, along with cancer care, we are doing this declamation contest online and hope it is received well by the viewers. We had planned in consultation with Education Department of Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh to cover schools, all schools of Tri-City in person or online for tobacco awareness. And we had started the work. But post-COVID, we wish to go ahead with the program and with wishes from all of you, we shall overcome.
Before I announce the result, we'll take a minute or two to announce the results. Just give us some time. Meanwhile, anybody has any queries to ask Dr. Arjun about the effects of tobacco or anything, please go ahead. We are open to any questions.
अक्टूबर महीने का गुलाबी आसमान कुछ कहता है, ये खूबसूरत सा जहान, चलो इसे मिलकर मनाते हैं, हम तुम जीत की कहानी रचाते हैं, कैंसर रोग को भी हराएंगे, ब्रेस्ट का हो या सर्विकल का, हिम्मत के सहारे जीत ही जाएंगे.
October is celebrated as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As a doctor, I would like to advise you to do your self-examination of the breast every month between the age of 20-25. With this, you can pick up the lump quite early, and if when you see the lump, you must visit the doctor immediately. After the age of 40, we should get our mammography done. If you have a family history of breast cancer, then you should get it done every year. Otherwise, once in 2 years or 3 years.
Sahayta, with its zealous commitment of lessening the pain of cancer afflicted, reaches out to hundreds with financial help for treatment, emotional support to patient and family, supporting school education of children, and most importantly, creating awareness for early detection of cancer. This is a celebration of people who are brave beyond words, strong beyond imagination.
Started so that we can talk about it, we can share.
My journey from I have breast cancer to I'm leading a normal life has undoubtedly been very long and arduous. Cancer has changed my life, and I have learned that life is beautiful.
My cancer has been a blessing in disguise. Now I listen to my inner voice that warns me to get myself checked up in time. Sharing one's experiences, I'm able to reach out to others and ease their pain and sufferings. My perspective of life has changed.
Friends, my encounter with cancer resulted into self-introspection, leading to my connect with my fellow friends, especially my fellow sisters. This path was paved by Sahayta. Looking at the silver lining in between dark clouds is the mantra of my life.
My journey of life with cancer passed through swiftly with positivity and early detection. Now I am enjoying pink of health and enlightening as many lives as I can with compassion and through empathy.
कैंसर न बन सका सबब तोड़ने का मुझे, हाँ मगर बन गया है वजह मजबूती की मेरी। देना चाहती हूँ औरों को भी उम्मीद मैं ये, रुकती नहीं है जिंदगी कैंसर के बाद भी।
मैं इन 30 वर्षों में कैंसर को हरा दिया, लेकिन कैंसर मुझे नहीं हरा पाया। मैं अपनी जिंदगी अंतिम सांस तक बहुत खुशी और प्रसन्नता से गुजारना चाहती हूँ, लेकिन इस बीमारी के बाद मेरे अंदर एक आत्मविश्वास, दृढ़ संकल्प जागा कि मैंने दूसरों की मदद करते हुए और अपनी जिंदगी को सही चलाते हुए अपना जीवन व्यतीत करना है।
The pain and agony undergone by us has really transformed us. Just like stones are turned into diamonds, dazzling jewels that adorn the sky keeps shining and fly so high, undiminished that we will strive, keep smiling and always strive.
For me, first was acceptance of the diagnosis, then the faith in Almighty, and of course the able doctors, backed by love of the family and my inner strength, which rubbished the question of doubts on many faces.
And pink is not just pink. It's more than one color. Every woman and her story is unique. So we're embarking on a mission to create a new palette of pink, each shade representing the story of a woman living with the form of this disease.
मेरी एहतियात में ढील है। मेरी एहतियात में ढील है।
अक्टूबर महीने का गुलाबी आसमान कुछ कहता है, ये खूबसूरत सा जहान। चलो इसे मिलकर मनाते हैं, हम तुम जीत की कहानी रचाते हैं। कैंसर रोग को भी हराएंगे, ब्रेस्ट का हो या सर्विकल का, हिम्मत के सहारे जीत ही जाएंगे।
October is celebrated as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As a doctor, I would like to advise you to do your self-examination of the breast every month between the age of 20-25. With this, you can pick up the lump quite early, and when you see the lump, you must visit the doctor immediately. After the age of 40, we should get our mammography done. If you have a family history of breast cancer, then you should get it done every year. Otherwise, once in 2 years or 3 years.
Sahayta, with its zealous commitment of lessening the pain of cancer afflicted, reaches out to hundreds with financial help for treatment, emotional support to patient and family, supporting school education of children, and most importantly, creating awareness for early detection of cancer. This is a celebration of people who are brave beyond words, strong beyond imagination.
Started so that we can talk about it, we can share.
My journey from I have breast cancer to I'm leading a normal life has undoubtedly been very long and arduous. Cancer has changed my life, and I have learned that life is beautiful.
My cancer has been a blessing in disguise. Now I listen to my inner voice that warns me to get myself checked up in time. Sharing one's experiences, I'm able to reach out to others and ease their pain and sufferings. My perspective of life has changed.
Friends, my encounter with cancer resulted into self-introspection, leading to my connect with my fellow friends, especially my fellow sisters. This path was paved by sahayta. Looking at the silver lining in between dark clouds is the mantra of my life.
My journey of life with cancer passed through swiftly with positivity and early detection. Now I am enjoying pink of health and enlightening as many lives as I can with compassion and through empathy.
कैंसर न बन सका सबब तोड़ने का मुझे, हाँ मगर बन गया है वजह मजबूती की मेरी। देना चाहती हूँ औरों को भी उम्मीद मैं ये, रुकती नहीं है जिंदगी कैंसर के बाद भी।
मैं इन 30 वर्षों में कैंसर को हरा दिया, लेकिन कैंसर मुझे नहीं हरा पाया। मैं अपनी जिंदगी अंतिम सांस तक बहुत खुशी और प्रसन्नता से गुजारना चाहती हूँ, लेकिन इस बीमारी के बाद मेरे अंदर एक आत्मविश्वास, दृढ़ संकल्प जागा कि मैंने दूसरों की मदद करते हुए और अपनी जिंदगी को सही चलाते हुए अपना जीवन व्यतीत करना है।
The pain and agony undergone by us has really transformed us. Just like stones are turned into diamonds, dazzling jewels that adorn the sky keeps shining and fly so high, undiminished that we will strive, keep smiling and always strive.
For me, first was acceptance of the diagnosis, then the faith in Almighty, and of course the able doctors, backed by love of the family and my inner strength, which rubbished the question of doubts on many faces.
And pink is not just pink. It's more than one color. Every woman and her story is unique. So we're embarking on a mission to create a new palette of pink, each shade representing the story of a woman living with the form of this disease.
अक्टूबर महीने का गुलाबी आसमान कुछ कहता है, ये खूबसूरत सा जहान। चलो इसे मिलकर मनाते हैं, हम तुम जीत की कहानी रचाते हैं। कैंसर रोग को भी हराएंगे, ब्रेस्ट का हो या सर्विकल का, हिम्मत के सहारे जीत ही जाएंगे।
October is celebrated as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As a doctor, I would like to advise you to do your self-examination of the breast every month between the age of 20-25. With this, you can pick up the lump quite early, and when you see the lump, you must visit the doctor immediately. After the age of 40, we should get our mammography done. If you have a family history of breast cancer, then you should get it done every year. Otherwise, once in 2 years or 3 years.
Sahayta, with its zealous commitment of lessening the pain of cancer afflicted, reaches out to hundreds with financial help for treatment, emotional support to patient and family, supporting school education of children, and most importantly, creating awareness for early detection of cancer. This is a celebration of people who are brave beyond words, strong beyond imagination.
Started so that we can talk about it, we can share.
My journey from I have breast cancer to I'm leading a normal life has undoubtedly been very long and arduous. Cancer has changed my life, and I have learned that life is beautiful.
My cancer has been a blessing in disguise. Now I listen to my inner voice that warns me to get myself checked up in time. Sharing one's experiences, I'm able to reach out to others, and ease their pain and sufferings. My perspective of life has changed.
Friends, my encounter with cancer resulted into self-introspection, leading to my connect with my fellow friends, especially my fellow sisters. This path was paved by sahayta. Looking at the silver lining in between dark clouds is the mantra of my life.
My journey of life with cancer passed through swiftly with positivity and early detection. Now I am enjoying pink of health and enlightening as many lives as I can with compassion and through empathy.
कैंसर न बन सका सबब तोड़ने का मुझे, हाँ मगर बन गया है वजह मजबूती की मेरी। देना चाहती हूँ औरों को भी उम्मीद मैं ये, रुकती नहीं है जिंदगी कैंसर के बाद भी।
मैं इन 30 वर्षों में कैंसर को हरा दिया, लेकिन कैंसर मुझे नहीं हरा पाया। मैं अपनी जिंदगी अंतिम सांस तक बहुत खुशी और प्रसन्नता से गुजारना चाहती हूँ, लेकिन इस बीमारी के बाद मेरे अंदर एक आत्मविश्वास, दृढ़ संकल्प जागा कि मैंने दूसरों की मदद करते हुए और अपनी जिंदगी को सही चलाते हुए अपना जीवन व्यतीत करना है।
The pain and agony undergone by us has really transformed us. Just like stones are turned into diamonds, dazzling jewels that adorn the sky keeps shining and fly so high, undiminished that we will strive, keep smiling and always strive.
For me, first was acceptance of the diagnosis, then the faith in Almighty, and of course the able doctors, backed by love of the family and my inner strength, which rubbished the question of doubts on many faces.
And pink is not just pink. It's more than one color. Every woman and her story is unique. So we're embarking on a mission to create a new palette of pink, each shade representing the story of a woman living with the form of this disease.
Very good morning again. I'm so sorry it took us more time to compile the results. And before I announce the results, on behalf of Sahayta Welfare Charitable Society, I would like to thank all the participants who have participated with full enthusiasm and zeal. We are also grateful to the schools, the parents, and the teachers who have motivated their children in these difficult times and really worked hard with them. A word of thanks and appreciation for our senior volunteer, Mrs. Madhu Nagpal, and one of our youngest volunteer, Mrs. Devika, who really worked relentlessly behind the scenes to make this competition a big success, and the Pink Elephant, and their team, without whom this program would not have been possible. And now for the most exciting part of the day, that is results. Every student who took part in this competition deserves a big clap. All of you spoke very well, and I felicitate each one of you. Remember, participation is much more important than winning. Having that, I announce the winners of the day. First prize goes to Divya Grover from Shishu Niketan. Second prize goes to Pranjay from St. Joseph's. And third prize goes to Manushri from Vivek Mohali. And there's another consolation prize. We will be announcing that later in a while. Divya Grover is from Shishu Niketan. Pranjay St. Joseph and Manushri. Thank you very much, all of you, for the for making this program a big success. Thank you so much. God bless.